Hello. Ho, ho, ho. Good morning. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye. I say hello. So, the second day, third day, fourth day, second day. There we go. Calendar. January 2nd, 2021, 10:59 and 30 seconds. Here it is. This is what we've been waiting for. We're awake. What does it mean? I like talking when I'm sleeping. Gosh. I'm increasing my speed of transmission towards the screen. It's going to be more, not less, of me. It's going to start to branch out in different ways too. I mean, it's not just this interaction, it's the interaction through my music and my art, and as many portals as I can get to. So I was invited to go on a radio show tomorrow. It might be worth listening to the radio show because there's going to be me, a guy from a band called the Wattingers, who seems like a really good guy, and Jason from Jason Doghouse. So those, and the host is going to be Sean, calls this radio show the Snuff Monkey Show. And it will be going out live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Los Angeles time. So that would be 6 p.m. in England, because they're 8 hours ahead of us. So I'm going to probably, whilst I'm there, I'm going to time travel. And I'm going to be 6 p.m. UK. I suppose if I kept going east, I would eventually catch up with myself. Maybe, maybe not. Time doesn't exist, nor does space, except the space between my ears. Oy, oy, oy. I'm watching them painting white lines in the sky again. Painting so many. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, just beyond my screen is the glass. I think it's glass. Could be plexiglass, but it's glass. Screen of a window. And then beyond that screen is the world as we picture it. My perception is the builders are working. Boom, 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 boom. My perception is that was an audio signal. The visual signal is the trees are green and slight breeze, hardly any, few clouds, and then an aeroplane up there painting another stripy cloud. It's a strange world, but we're creating it, you see. What I perceive, you cannot see. What I see, you cannot see. What you see, I cannot see. It's a game, playing this game of hide and seek. Ooh, there's another live one going on YouTube that I like, called When the Buildings Cried. Quite enjoy that one. And then I came across a really good one through my friend Mark Atwood, interviewed somebody who lives, a few hours drive south of me in San Diego, and this guy is seeing the things that are hidden from most people, and they're real to him. And I've seen video evidence of some of it, and it doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is the people who just don't believe it because they don't want to believe it. So again, perception, what we believe. I've been talking to a lot of people over the last few days, some on here, some on the telephone, some in real life, all of whom are whom. Ooh, I haven't got a womb. Normally get a womb by this time. Maybe it's because I'm going on at a later time. I used to go on early in the morning as soon as I woke up. I've had my breakfast. I've broken my fast. Break fast. So I'm a little more in tune with the world. Anyway, I've been talking to a lot of people. One person in particular told me stories of what they believe is manifesting in this world, and they and I talked at length, and I had visions of what that reality was that she was describing to me, and then I had revelations about why that vision nearly knocked my lamp over. Lamp over. Is that a word? No. Should be. Anyway, gosh, lots of people I've been talking to. One of the things I've noticed is a lot of people are having what used to be called apparitions, calling them, UFOs or sightings of strange creatures or unusual things. And I have a theory. I am conspiring to theorize. God, that's a big, long white stripe going right across the sky at the moment. Huge. Anyway. Yes, I am conspiring to theorize. The apparitions that people are seeing, and a lot of people I know are genuinely, I have no reason to disbelieve them, having visitations from apparitions. I think as our frequency changes, our base frequency changes, rises, hopefully rises, we can make that adjustment. It's not that difficult, but I think it's happening whether we want it to or not within a lot of people. So as our frequencies change, the spectrum of light that comes into our visual cortex changes. I mean, there's I don't want to go into this as science. What I'm saying is the things that they're seeing are manifesting because their frequency is raised to incorporate specific visual stimulation. I have seen in my lifetime, in my human experience, I have seen people, beasts, things I don't understand, shapes. But mostly I've seen people, humanoid, not easily describable, but humanoid, human people that appear flickering, gone. They're there, they're not. They're there, they're not. And I believe they're there all the time. I'm just not in their frequency at the moment. You know, I believe this room is full of people right now. Full. I mean, to the point where it's like, wow. And you're all here to help me, and I'm here to help you. And we're here to progress the ascension of human consciousness to a vibrational field that can witness the great beauty that is already evident to me on my current frequency. So if they match my frequency and they see the same as I do, or similar things that I do about this abundant world, am I getting too crazy for some of you? I might be. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Many years ago, I was working, earning money, and enjoying what I was doing, working as an art director and a production designer here in the wonderful world of Hollywood. And I was aware of being in the belly of the beast. I was aware of it, but I was allowed to be creative within it, which was good, and I had fun doing it. But there was an awareness of that creativity being stymied, that's a good word, I like words, by the lack of creative visualization of the people I was working for. I mean, they could definitely make films, and they could definitely use, you know, the meat puppets, the human actors, and paint sceneries and make it look pretty. But the creative visualization that I wanted to, what I did bring for many years to it, was being clamped by the system. So the system at that point, I recognized as the beast system. I recognized it as I'm in the belly of the beast. And eventually the beast went, what the hell's this doing in here? And spat me out. But it didn't hurt. You know, I just went to the side and, you know, I was spat out by the system, and I was okay with being spat out by the system. I kind of wanted to be. And then just recently, I wrote a song called Ipecac for the Beast, which clips together some other people talking to their screens and things they're saying. Good people, like really good people. Max Igan and David Icke and someone else. I think I edited little bits of their speeches, like little bits of speech, and used it as vehicles within the musical parameters of the song that I was writing. Because what they were saying was, you know, this is a beast system. This is a full beast system. And then one of them was saying, we can advance beyond the system, but we have to recognize the system. It's pretty much, it summed up where I was. So I tried to put my part in, which is Ipecac for the beast. And it's very simple. And that's what I think I've been doing for most of my musical and creative life, is continuing to be the Ipecac for the beast. Now, Ipecac is derived from a natural plant, and when humans ingest it, it was used medically. It's no longer used, I don't think, medically. It might be, but Ipecac, syrup of Ipecac, was used to make people vomit. And it does, it really did project, made them vomit, because, when somebody gets poisoned, you want them to kick out the poison. So I've been making Ipecac for the beast, and the beast is the beast system. The Ipecac is my challenge to the system. But I want the beast to be blissfully unaware of me most of the time, because the beast will eat me. And then when I'm back in its belly, it's got to throw me up again. So, and it's a game right now. It's a game. I go in, it throws me up. I go and write another piece of music, I administer my piece of music to the beast. The beast digests it, starts getting sick again. It's like, ugh. And if enough people make enough creative beauty and creative visualization, and feed it to the beast, it becomes that Ipecac, and the beast starts to fall apart. And that's what I'm hoping. That's my hope beyond hope, is that I'm going to feed the beast as much Ipecac as I can get, and I want others to do so. I want others to keep feeding this beast the beauty that it cannot really abide. It can abide the love, beauty, empathy, compassion, all of those things it desperately wants, but it makes it sick. So feed it that. Don't feed it war and hate and misery and violence, because it loves that. That's the thing it really lives on. By feeding by feeding this beast system, hate, war, misery, it continues to grow. So it's almost like engaging in a fight. So you go in and you're like, you're gloved up and you're ready to go, and you're like, got to fight the beast. And then, you're ready to meet it eye to eye, and you're just there, and you're like, okay, it's not going to knock me down. And then, the fanfare goes off, and your opponent is coming from the dressing room, and you're looking around. This huge behemoth. It's like, so how do you defeat it? This is the story of David and Goliath. This is the whole mythological journey that we're on. I've been rereading Joseph Campbell, the hero's journey. Even if you don't want to read the book, just look at the symbolism of the hero's journey. And how mythology feeds our existence, how mythological creatures have been used to help us understand what it is we create, is what we end up encountering. So, it's part of that. But it's beyond that now, because the beast has shown itself. You know, it's telling you you've got to suppress all of the things that make us human. I mean, we've got to suppress all those human traits, the love, the empathy, the caring, the growing. No, we've just got to become automatons to the beast. We've got to keep feeding the beast war and hate and misery. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be Ipecac for this beast all my human existence. And then when I die, I'm hoping that I come back as a small plant that is the distillation of what it is that I am, and the beast will eat that plant and die. I don't know. I mean, it's a beast of a system. And I'm making it into a mythological creature. Yesterday, I came up with a phrase because too many people are looking at this in a weird way. You know, they're aware of the system being bad, and yet they're willing to do what the governments tell them to do within that system. And I'm like, well, no, that's part of the system. Don't you understand? If they're telling you to do something that you have to, and it's mandatory, it's compulsory, then that's part of the system too. The only part of this system that has been free of, I mean, idealistically free of the constraints of the beast system is nature itself. You know, Earth, Gaia, call it what you will, but I mean, it's like our Earth will completely survive the beast system, because the beast system is only interested in humanity. It's only interested in the control of humanity. That's it. And the base control, the very base control, is our reproductive system. It will attack our reproductive system so harsh, so powerfully. You know, I mean, I'm not saying if we're awake and aware and we watch and we don't comply with this beast system, it will attack our ability to reproduce. It's almost like it will limit the amount of us. It will only preserve the ones that worship it. And by worshipping it, I mean continuing to feed it. So our reproductive system, our whole family structures, and our whole way of life is threatened by the beast, because the family is attacked. I mean, you've seen it through social media, you've seen it through all the other media, and you've witnessed it, and you've thought about it, and then you've realized and recognized that in order for humanity to progress as a human species, and I'm having this experience, you know, our basic reproductive rights are being threatened legally, social engineering wise. I mean, how many times have we been told that, you know, I mean, this is all to do with it goes to so many different areas, but it's like, you know, being gender specific. You know, I'm aware I'm a man. I was born a man. I've lived my life a man. Do I love women? Yes, I love women. Am I attracted to other men? Some, but only intellectually. But I recognize and realize all that. There is a very, very, very small percentage of people that were born, I suppose it's called transgender. And there's a small percentage of people that are homosexual, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But to shape society in children, and I'm talking about our reproductive rights. So I'm not talking about being gay, being straight, being lesbian. It doesn't matter. All of that doesn't matter. What matters is our ability to reproduce and our ability to advance as a species. And the ultimate Achilles heel of humanity is that ability to reproduce as a choice, an active choice. So if you were the enemy of humanity or trying to control humanity, I mean, I was a jockey for many years. I rode horses, and if there was a wild, I mean, we did have a couple in the stables where I worked. We had one stallion who, I mean, as a racehorse, he was absolutely brilliant. I mean, he was so brilliant, and he won many races. But he was almost uncontrollable. I mean, he was vicious and would attack. I mean, he was a crazy horse, and he was a full horse, big testicles, all that stuff, you know, whatever. It's like a full horse. And in many cases, I mean, because they were expensive racehorses, they tried many things to pacify him and allow him to breed and have progeny, which is great because he was a great racehorse. But in many cases, if the horse was not a good race horse and didn't win races, in many cases they just geld them, gelding a horse, you know, they would take its testicles away, and it would suppress that violent, aggressive. Not, you know, so see, I'm trying to not link it to violent, aggressive. That self-determining part of his being as a stallion. He was an alpha stallion who just happened to be a racehorse, who just happened to win races, and he was outrageously difficult to deal with as a horse. But the way in which this one trainer I worked for pacified that horse was to get him a pet. We got a pet goat that used to be in his stall. Now, this was a huge racehorse and a moderately small, you know, regular sized goat. And the goat would not stand for this horse's nonsense. It would, and the horse would be pacified. And in the end, we had to take the goat to the race course with him and let him travel with him in the horse box before he raced and all that sort of stuff. But it did pacify him. So he forged a bond, not sexual, but it forged a bond with that other animal, and it pacified him and it helped him. And that was better than cutting his testicles off. Well, if we're here to be farmed, I don't want my testicles taken off. I really don't. And the beast will try to take that identity, the male, the female, will try and take that identity away in order to upset the balance of the family that is the family of man and woman, the man, family of man. There was a father, I just watched a father who's legally trying to defend, his name's Jeff, legally trying to defend his son's birth sex in court in Texas. He had twin sons, and the mother decided that one of the boys, she had twin boys, one of the boys had feminine attributes, so encouraged the child to be a woman or a girl. And he's still a young man, but he's now identifying at home. The mother and father broke up over this, but the son is identifying as a female with the mother, and the mother's giving the son a lot of attention, which, as all children want attention, they all want love and care. So it's a really difficult legal situation that this man is going through, because he's trying to protect the child's biological identity as a boy, and the mother's going, no, let him wear lipstick, let him say he's a girl, let him change his name. In fact, she I think legally changed the boy's name to a girl's name, and he's allowed to identify as a girl. And he's like, I mean, this was before he was even 7 years old, and it's like, that's not right. I mean, I'm not knocking the idea that somebody can feel like they're trapped in a man trapped in a woman's body, a woman trapped in a man's body, and those things happen, and you can identify with whoever you want to be. But if you're a child, a small child, family, love, identity, all of these things are being chipped away at. And we've got to do something about it. We've got to put a stop to this nonsense at some point. I mean, it's like, there are so many issues. I'm sorry I went into that gender issue. It's very prevalent in my mind. And it all leads to the same kind of demonic beast system that I'm talking about, the demonic beast system, the one that's creating the despicable pedophilia that is part of the people that truly worship the beast. I mean, not talking about the ones who inadvertently feed it, but the ones who are feeding it the most get rewarded the most. All that garbage, belonging to secret societies where you have to do ritualistic horror in order to belong, and yuck. I mean, that's the heart of the beast. That's it. That's the most horrific thing to do. What used to be called unspeakable harm, I'm speaking about it, and lots of people are speaking about it. The abuse of children. And these people control huge, I mean, the beast itself is being fed by these hideous, satanic, I'll call them that, satanic, worshippers who have been driven to believe there's some magic elixir that keeps them young and powerful and vibrant if they abuse, and in some cases just horrifically abuse and I didn't even know I was going to talk about this. I had no idea. Don't feed the beast. Stop. Think about it. Love, live, life. What the beast doesn't like is if you provide ipecac for it, be creative, be loving, be caring, be empathetic. That'll just make the beast sick. What the beast wants is you to be violent, aggressive, despotic, demonic. That's what it wants. Because your fear feeds it. Your fear feeds the beast. So I'm going to write a piece of music. Okay, that was heavy. That was really heavy. So I'm going to write a piece of music to make the beast sick. All right. If you get the chance, listen to my music. I have 3 channels on this digital platform called YouTube. I have one called Trusting the Plan for Nigel, which is a riff on trusting the plan and making plans for Nigel. It wasn't necessarily supposed to align itself with anything but just humorous jokes. And now I've got to a very serious point in my life. So it's like, okay, I've got to really try and wake myself up. So Trusting the Plan for Nigel is this channel. And then there's another channel, which is called The Tunnel Man. I think it is anyway. Yeah, well, let me look. I can look in the corner. And I've no idea how I set up 3 channels, but it was funny. Switch account. Oh, let me switch account mid. Anyway, I think there's the Tunnel Man. And he was created by chance, by me. When I first came to live in Los Angeles, pre-internet, this digital interfacing, I did a cartoon of a guy that was called the Tunnel Man, and the Tunnel Man was representative of the ultimate consumer. He would eat everything. So kind of the Tunnel Man is a cartoon version of the beast. So beware the Tunnel Man. So I've got the Tunnel Man, Trusting the Plan for Nigel, and then the most important one to me is the YouTube channel that has my music on it. And most of the music I've done over the last 10 years has been with my music partner Derek, and he's a great producer of music. And so that's been a brilliant ride, and I've known him for a lot longer than the 10-15 years we've been working together exclusively. And now we're working like together, but in, as satellites of each other. I'm working mostly from home. He's working mostly from his home, and it's only 25 minutes away, and I go see him and talk to him regularly, but we've not been able to share a space for a while because of this stretching and yawning of the beast. And that's why I've started doing more of this, and why I'm doing some other stuff too, like lots of designing and artwork and outreach. So that's me, Nigel, and I've talked for way too long, and nobody joined me in the chat, as usual. Although people I know were listening, they didn't join, which is fine. Tomorrow, watch me on the radio. Watch me on the radio. I've got a face made for radio. I know what I mean. Okay, love, live life. Get out there and do stuff. Be creative. God, the beast hates that.